Hi, this is Jason with the Arizona Gun Channel coming at you with another gun review. And this time we're taking a look at the Taurus Model 66 357 Magnum. And this is the blued steel 4-inch barrel version. So the first thing we do is take a closer look at the gun, and then we're going to go over the features. Alright, so taking a look at the handgun. So this is the Taurus Model 66 357 Magnum, which means it can also shoot 38 specials out of it. This is the blued steel 4-inch version. They also make a stainless steel version in this size and the 6-inch. So you can get this in blued and stainless in 4-inch and 6-inch. But this is the 4-inch version. And like I said, this is a double action revolver, meaning that every time you pull the trigger, you have a nice long trigger pull. And it will rotate the cylinder every time for a different shot, as well as this can be fired in single action, which we'll show in a little bit. It comes with extremely nice thick rubber grips. These are really nice from the factory grips, and they definitely help mitigate the recoil of the 357 Magnum. I don't mind shooting this at all when I shoot 357 Magnum. And this is actually my wife's handgun, and she loves shooting 357, and she has no problem with the recoil. This model does come with adjustable rear sights, which is nice for windage and elevation. Some of the other models of this, I think the 65 and some of the other ones, they don't have adjustable sights. It's just the metal that's kind of, you know, milled into the handgun. But this one actually has adjustable sights. It's really nice. Another great feature of this handgun, which is a little bit different than some of the other 357 Magnums in this size, this is a 7-shot. So you get that extra round in there. You know, most of them typically are around 6 shots. Sometimes you'll find a 5-shot 357 in this barrel length 4-inch, but this is a 7-shot. So you got that extra round in there, which is really, really nice. To open the cylinder, you have a really nice checkered cylinder release that you just push forward, and then you're able to open the cylinder. Cylinder spins really nice. It's kind of rubbing on the thing that I have to hold the gun up, but I mean, it spins really nice revolver. I've never had a problem with this Taurus, or any Taurus for that matter. Tauruses, you know, are kind of synonymous with people that they, you know, for unreliability. And I have no problem with Tauruses. I've owned a couple Tauruses, and yeah, I've never had a problem. And they also come with a lifetime warranty. So I mean, if you ever have an issue, which every gun manufacturer has issues, you know, with different models. I mean, even Glocks, you'll see if you YouTube it, they do fail. You know, some people just think that, you know, Taurus not made in the USA, that it definitely has issues. The one thing I will say with Taurus is, and with this model of handgun, is the 357 Magnum, the one that comes in stainless, you see some of the tool marks in the metal that's kind of rough. Like, you won't see that with the Smith & Wesson or anything like that. But in the Tauruses, sometimes the stainless steels show some of the poor tooling done. You'll see like little scrape marks. But the blue definitely, you know, masks that totally. The only problem with the blued version of this handgun is you know, you touch it, you get a fingerprint. I mean, you can see there's smudges all over it, and I just cleaned this handgun. We'll take a look at functionality. We'll pull this guy out. So this is a double action revolver. So every time you pull the trigger, you get a long, hard trigger pull that rotates the cylinder and fires around in the chamber. And like I said, this is a 7-shot. And you also have the ability to fire this in single action by pulling back the nice checkered hammer, which gives you, it's really easy to pull back. I'm left-handed, so this is actually my weak hand I'm holding it with, and I have no problem doing that one-handed. And you can see that the trigger is far back, and you pull it, and you have a nice short, crisp trigger pull. I mean, this thing shoots really, really nice. Much better in single action. The double action pull is extremely long and hard. But I mean, like I said, it fires good. I've never had any issues. I fired hot loads out of this guy, and I've never had a problem with it locking up or seizing at all. Like I said, the sights are adjustable, which is really nice. Probably the biggest problem I have with these sights is that they are black on black, and that can be a problem. But you could paint that front post to make it a little easier. That's probably the biggest complaint I have with this handgun. And you know, it's sometimes hard to get a sight picture, especially if you're doing something in the dark. I mean, that black on black is kind of hard to pick up. It'd be nice to maybe paint that front sight post. With the cylinder open, you have the ejector rod, which functions flawlessly. It's really smooth to kick the shell casings out. So I mean, I have no problem with this handgun at all. Cylinder spins nice and freely, and it's really crisp in the gun. You know, you see people where they push the cylinder release and they fling the cylinder out. You can do that. Obviously, that's not good on the gun, but it's, you know, it's not that tight where it doesn't do that. But I mean, you could do that, but it's not really good for revolvers. But I really like, you know, I've seen some other revolvers that had really poor ejector rods that were really tight. This is not the case with this guy at all. So getting a nice close-up view, here you can see the little gap in the cylinder, and when we're actually going to pull the trigger back in double action, you see the cylinder move, and then you'll see the firing pin, and that's what will actually strike the primer on the round. But I've never had any problems with this. Like I said, I fired some really hot loads on this guy. I've never had any kind of cylinder lockup. I've heard of people when they fire a ton of it, they've had to tighten the screws on this guy. I've never had any problems. I fired probably about 1,000 rounds through this guy, and I've had no problems with this gun at all. This handgun functions flawlessly. I've never had a problem with it. And like I said, I think the biggest problem that this handgun has is the Taurus name, because some people can't look past the fact that these are good guns. Taurus has had issues, you know, in the past. They have fixed that. Their quality control is much better. And like I said, with a lifetime warranty, you really can't beat that. You don't get that with a lot of guns. I mean, obviously, accidents happen, things break, and I've seen it tons of times, people buying brand new Rugers, even Glocks, and they don't function properly, especially with the Gen 4 Glocks had issues when they came out. It happens. And for the price of this handgun, you really can't beat it. I mean, for a 357 Magnum. I mean, Taurus makes some of the most affordable 357 Magnums out there, as well as 44 Magnums if you're looking for a 44 Magnum. And like I said, I've never had a problem with Taurus. I like the Taurus brand. I own Taurus. I would own more Tauruses, you know, in the future. And I think this is definitely a great option for a 357 Magnum if that's what you're looking for. Like I said, there's lots of 357 Magnums that don't have adjustable sights. This has it. The grip is fantastic from the factory. It definitely mitigates that recoil, where I don't have a problem shooting it at all. And you get 7 shots, which is really cool. I mean, 7 shots of 357 Magnum is pretty awesome. Most in this size only have 6. So I definitely recommend this handgun. And once again, this has been Jason with the Arizona Gun Channel. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you guys next time.